My name's Ali. I was a little bit confused actually when Richard and I asked me to speak tonight, because they said it's about creative businesses, commercial business, social enterprise, and to be honest, I work in the public sector, and not only do I work in the public sector, I work in a really dull bit of the public sector, and I work in transport. So I spend my days putting together bus timetables and letting people know about disruption on the railways. Sorry about that Stalybridge Tunnel this week. And also the most exciting bit of my job, teaching customer service to bus drivers, which to be honest takes a bit more imagination and creativity than you might first think. So I thought, as befitting my industry, I might try and put forward what we're trying to do here today in the form of a graph. So on the y-axis I've got creative expertise, how good we are at doing stuff, and on the x-axis how open we are to new ideas. And obviously my sector tends to be in that bottom left-hand corner just a little bit too much. So I thought, well, what other problems might we have? Well, what if you were in a business that had loads of expertise but was a bit closed to new ideas? I'm going to call that like the top gear quadrant, I think. On the other hand, you might have a business where you're really, really open to new ideas, but you haven't quite got the skills to put into place. And I thought I might call that grand designs. But what we really want is to be in that top right hand corner. So what we're really looking for today is how open we can be to new ideas, but actually putting them into place. And this is where I come to what I call my Saul on the road to Damascus moment. Earlier this year, January this year, I was exposed to something that gave me access to new ideas and a way of kind of putting those things into place. I was introduced to that by this lady on the right hand side here. Yeah, the pink doesn't come out because she's actually got pink hair, pink sunglasses, and obviously an Elvis-like husband, so clearly she's a little bit more bohemian than I am. In fact, she comes from a family of bohemians, and you go to their family parties and they get a guitar out and start singing all night. It's absolutely nauseating, to be honest. I'm sitting in the corner doing Sudoku, obviously. But anyway, it was Peg, my friend, who introduced me to this idea of better culture back in January, 10 months ago, and said, Alison, have a go and put yourself in the spotlight, get away from the bus timetables, and come in and start talking about something that really excites you. And I was really panicking and scared and nervous, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and then I hit upon an idea. Because if any of you have ever been speed dating, it is impossible to come away from speed dating without a load of really great stories. And I mean great in the sense of amusing and yet tragic. And so I did that and it worked really well. So the second time I did Better Culture, I did it with Peg. We did a double act about buddy movies, which movies we liked and what it would be like if we were in a movie together as buddies. And I got the opportunity to wear a blonde ABBA wig. I'll just leave you to try and imagine how that worked. But just, I know Rich mentioned this at the beginning, but I think the reason Better Culture works is, first of all, it's very focused. The slides are there, they keep you on message, you can't go dribbling off about something else, but they're also there as a support. So when you get nervous and go blank, it's there to help you. But also, it's an opportunity for people to talk about things in quite a safe environment. And quite often at Better Culture events, you've got people tweeting. So you get very immediate feedback if you're on Twitter about what people like and so on, so it's been great. So that was a starting point for me. After that I decided I might have a go at writing about some of the things I was thinking about, so I started blogging. First time I've done creative writing since I was at school, that's quite a long time ago. And I did something else next after that, which I never would have dreamed of doing, which is I did a few sessions of open mic stand-up comedy. I was telling somebody at work about that, and he said the idea of doing that, he would rather go to Afghanistan armed with a spoon than ever do stand-up. Which I suppose, to be honest, I thought I was amazed though, just as an aside, I managed to find a spoon run on the internet, so I'll do that please, that's a kind of metaphor. But actually, if you'd asked me about 10 months ago in January, there's no way I would have had a good stand-up comedy, and now I've had 4 or 5 goes at that, it's worked really well. So Better Culture might not be the thing for you, but for me it has been that thing that's enabled me to have access to new ideas. I've met loads of friends through Better Culture, through blogging, through stand-up, and to actually have an opportunity to practice those things and get better. Another thing I've done this year is actually put together my own website. For those of you web designers, I know it's pants, it's WordPress, but it was brilliant for me, you know, I managed to do it. And I have no idea if anybody reads this or looks at it, but it's like an archive of my creative journey. So what I wanted to say about today, this is obviously me on my journey, still in public transport, you know, so we're still keeping on message. But Bettakultcha was part of my creative journey to try stuff out. So whatever it is for you, I do hope this evening has been an opportunity for you to step forward and make the most of it. So.